And welcome to another edition of Ducks and Sports. This week, we're talking about Week 5 in the NFL. Should be interesting. A quarter of the season now done, and the NFL season goes by fast, and a lot of teams are starting to feel right now. Teams like the Steelers, the Giants, pretty much, in my opinion, all pretty much done in the water. And that's the great thing about football. You know, football can get away from you fast, and should be an interesting week to say the least. We'll start this week with Thursday night's matchup is the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. Why is this in prime time? I have no idea. But we'll talk about it anyway. And we'll talk about the red-hot Cleveland Browns. That's right, the red-hot Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns won 2 straight games after trading their best player in Trent Richardson to the Colts. And the Cleveland Browns getting the job done with Brian Hoyer as their starter. Of course, Whedon getting benched for Brian Hoyer. Interesting announcement when they made it, but this guy's just made the most of his opportunity. I mean, really going in there, really proving himself as a starter in the NFL. You know, kind of a journeyman. You know, a guy with the Patriots, guy with the Cardinals, and many other teams. Just really showing his worth now in the NFL. And look at the Cleveland Browns right now. You know, tied for first in the North, right? You know, still running the football effectively. Playing good defense, playing great defense right now, getting the job done, doing all the little things right. The Cleveland Browns, week in, week out, are improving. And will be interesting this week because they're going against another improving team in the Buffalo Bills, who week in, week out, improve. You know, going in the year, I thought E.J. Manuel wasn't ready. I thought, watching the preseason, thought this guy maybe should have sat out most of the year, maybe start next year. I feel he wasn't ready, but he just got rushed in that spot because Kevin Kolb being hurt. But this guy's made, just like Hoyer's made the most of his opportunity, playing well. Now, he's not playing fantastic. You know, he's not lighting it up. He's not getting great fancy numbers. But E.J. Manuel's getting the job done. And you look at the Buffalo Bills, who can run the football and play good defense. Not saying they're going east. Probably, realistically, they make the playoffs. Probably not. But the Buffalo Bills are an improving football team, and it's looking great for the Buffalo Bills' future. Maybe in 2014, this could be a good team, but not now. And the Cleveland Browns, of course, tied for the North, and I expect them to take the lead in the North because I expect the Cleveland Browns beat the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football, and the Cleveland Browns, crazy as sound, are going to win 3 straight games. Moving over to the Sunday Nighter, as the San Francisco 49ers take on the Houston Texans. Oh, well, an ugly one for Houston last week, of course. Matt Schaub turned the ball over late. You know, pretty much a game they looked like they had in hand, but it's never really over in the NFL until it's over. And the Houston Texans, this might be a big week for the Houston Texans because they're slowly getting a little worse and a little worse week in, week out. Not a good start of the season. You know, 2-2 right now. Houston not looking that good right now. And the Houston Texans are, in my opinion, still a good team, still a championship team, maybe. But they got to get their act together. Matt Schaub, this will be an interesting few weeks for Matt Schaub because if he doesn't start producing and putting wins on the board, I could see a scenario that Kubiak goes to Yates or some other QB on the roster and just benches Matt Schaub. And Matt Schaub looking to play somewhere else next year because it's not looking good for Matt Schaub right now. And he's playing a very good team, the San Francisco 49ers, which, hey, say what you want about Kaepernick and this offense not really rolling this year, but the San Francisco 49ers, in my opinion, are still a good team. Are they as good as last year's Super Bowl team? Probably not, but this is still probably, in my opinion, top 3 defense in the league. Maybe the next best defense, next to Seattle. You know, Kaepernick not looking flashy, but, you know, sometimes you don't be flashy to get the job done. You know, it looked pretty good last week. You know, Bolden having a great season. And it will be interesting for the 49ers because they really got to get going. For they expect to win the playoffs and get to the playoffs and win the playoffs, go back to the Super Bowl. But I think the 49ers, I think Kaepernick will make enough plays this week. I think this defense will come to play on Sunday Night Football. And I expect the San Francisco 49ers get the job done against the Houston Texans. And moving over to the Monday night, this will be an interesting one as the New York Jets travel to Atlanta, take on the Atlanta Falcons. Start with the Jets. Not to say the Jets are a bad team, because I don't think they're a bad team. You know, they've shown improvements this year. You know, their defense looks like to be back to more of a Rex Ryan type defense. Really, really showing that it is a good defense. You know, they're not running the ball good enough, but Geno Smith, maybe hasn't played great. Hasn't played horribly. He's kind of somewhere in the gray area. You know, hasn't played great. Not bad, but Geno Smith, realistically, is probably 2-3 years still away from being a good quarterback. But it's pretty clear this New York Jets team is just not a good football team. You know, it's not the worst team. They're not like Jags bad, but I don't think they're a playoff team either. They're kind of in that gray zone right now. And that's the worst spot to be in. You know, not good enough to make the playoffs, but not bad enough to get a stud in the draft. And that's what the New York Jets are right now. And this week will be a tough order for them because they were playing a desperate football team. Of course, Atlanta Falcons, of course, fell to 1-3. Of course, losing a nail-biter to the Saints, a nail-biter to the Dolphins. Coming so close, coming all the way back against the Patriots last week. Wasn't meant to be. If the Atlanta Falcons expect to be in the playoffs, they need to start winning football games right now. Because it is not looking good right now for the Atlanta Falcons. You know, Matt Ryan. You know, I'm a big Matt Ryan fan. I really think he's a good quarterback. But his fourth quarter decision-making this year has to be a big question mark, to say the least. Matt Ryan just not getting the job done right now. Julio Jones needs to start playing a little better too. Roddy White, of course, injured, but he needs to start playing a little better too. But I think that's what will happen on Monday night. I think Matt Ryan, Tony, Julio, Roddy, I think all these guys will come to play. I think a banged-up defense will make enough plays and will make a young QB, a young rookie QB, look like a rookie QB. And I expect the Atlanta Falcons to beat the New York Jets on Monday Night Football. The rest of the games this week, a bit of a shocker here, but I like the Chicago Bears to beat the undefeated New Orleans Saints. Another shocker, maybe some, but I like the Cincinnati Bengals, improving Cincinnati Bengals team, to beat the New England Patriots. I like Detroit Lions to beat Green Bay. Seattle over the Colts. Miami gets back to the winning ways as they beat the Ravens. Philly over the Giants. St. Louis over Jacksonville. Kansas City stays undefeated on the year as they beat the Tennessee Titans. Denver stays undefeated on the year as they beat the Dallas Cowboys. And the San Diego Superchargers get the job done against the Oakland Raiders. Last week, going 10-6. Improved my record to 39-25. Improving every week. And until next time, I'm Aaron Ducks for saying I'm Ducks, and I know sports. Kind of.